Welcome back to the second upload of this week, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the first one because that conversation was amazing. If y'all haven't checked it out, it was with Fong Nguyen, and it was one hell of a conversation that I think y'all should go watch right now because godly was it great. And it was so interesting learning so much about him and how he got started and everything that he's done over there in Houston. And maybe someday we might go out there and check out some things. So we will have to see. But with that being said, make sure you go follow me on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. All the social medias will be down below. So y'all make sure to go follow them because I am on a 100-day content challenge. And it has been one hell of a journey. We are over halfway through this challenge. So I hope y'all decide to join and just watch up until now. Watch everything that I've done till now. It has been one hell of a journey that I love sharing with you all and hope you all enjoy watching it also. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this interview today. We got someone special, guys. We got someone who hasn't been on in a while, but he means so much to this podcast. He's someone that has started it with me. He's someone that has been through the first 2 seasons with me, and I couldn't thank him enough. I can't thank him enough still for everything he's done, how much he's meant to me, how much he's meant to you guys, how much he's meant to just starting this all in general, because this podcast wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for him. This podcast wouldn't happen now if it wasn't for him. All right, so today we got someone special, man. Today we got a multi-sport athlete, a baseball legend in my eyes, someone who I have loved so much as a friend, as a brother, as a teammate, whatever it is. He has been the greatest and he's been the best person ever. And so, guys, hope you all welcome back in good hands, the one and only Coby Medlock. So y'all sit back, relax, and just enjoy this wonderful conversation. Let's go.
Off the clock, never needed no wristwatch. Toast up, cheers to life, but this ain't no pit stop. Ayy, my words don't get you to the top. Speak life into the mic like Mike at 90, pass me the rock. My words will touch thousands on the block, without a doubt, but she's a reassurance on me, we lie. Ayy, off the clock, baby, but we tuned in, dialed in. Feel like Cat, how we always winning, man. It's up.
Coby, I'm glad to have you back here, man. Glad to have you back sitting here with us. This time, we're not doing one of our regular sports shows as we did before. This time it's an interview. Yeah. Because you are a coach now. You are a coach at Rivera. So, with that being said, man, how you been? How's the coaching life been treating you so far?
Dude, honestly, it's great. It's definitely an experience, getting... Well, first to be back at the school that we went to growing up,
yes,
and then just to be in a position of authority, like an adult, and have to work with kids, and it's crazy because kids they come from different backgrounds and everything, so you got to find a way to work with each kid differently, and it's honestly like an experience.
So, usually this is something new for you, of course, but with my show and all my viewers, they know I like to tell the story of the person I'm sitting across from. Okay. And, a lot of the times I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know many of the people that I bring on my show, so I do my research on them. I do as much as I can, but it's different with you because we've almost grew up together. Yeah. I've known you majority of my life growing up playing sports. I've known you as a baseball player, this and that. I played with your brother, spent so much time with you guys. We went to the same high school. We did our podcast together. Mm-hmm. So with you, I know quite a bit of your past, but I don't know everything. And so the first thing I want to bring up is whenever you were young, what got you originally into sports? What was it that made you fall in love with your sports, and how did you get into it?
I mean, since I was little, just growing up with my dad and my brother, it was baseball. We were strictly baseball. We grew up, in the backyard, hitting balls, throwing, different kinds of things. And, then you come into the age to where you can play rec ball or little league, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so man, I just hit the ground, went running with it. You know, I had so much fun playing. And, you know, as I got older, I played other sports too. I played football, basketball, soccer. But to me, like, baseball was just my favorite thing. Something about a bat and a ball, you know, and the glove. It just stood out for me, and I loved it. And, you know, even all the way till this day, like, I still have, like, a strong passion for the game. Mm-hmm. So, grew up playing, like I said, you know, and then Caleb comes into the picture to where Caleb is old enough to start playing, and man, like, we've been so competitive since we were very little, and you know, he grew up going to my games, watching me play, you know, and like my mom and dad would always tell me, they were like, you were like the mold, you know, like Caleb grew up to watch you and saw everything that you did, you know, and he was able to pick up the game, learn from your mistakes, and then go and, you know, out on his own and play. So here comes Caleb, you know, playing, and he's playing in all these, like, big tournaments and games growing up, you know, so we're just competitive. Even today, like, people will ask us, who's a better baseball player? And he's like, me. And I'm like, dude, no. me. And so, I mean, that starts an argument, you know, so just the competitiveness growing up, and it branches to other sports, you know, like, I would say basketball was probably the next, like, sport that we played the most. Mm-hmm. You know, we did a lot of, like, Boys and Girls Club, football. You know, people like look at us and they're like, oh, that's a football player. Right?
We got some linemen right here.
Yeah, so, you know, like, man, growing up, I always heard, like, oh, you're going to be a great football player one day. And, you know, but I was never, like, actually introduced to the game like that. I'd watch football at home, you know. Everybody watched the Cowboys growing up.
Everybody.
I don't care, you know.
You didn't say you hate them.
Yeah, but you watched the Cowboys growing up, right? Everyone watched the Cowboys growing up. And I want to say I had a cousin who started to play middle school football. At the time, I was maybe in, like, first grade, so around there, second grade. And so, you know, I told my parents, like, hey, I want to play football, right? And they're like, okay. So I go play football. I played with, because, you know, everyone played with Ricardo Yellow Jackets growing up.
Yeah, Ricardo Yellow Jackets right there, baby.
And, you know, even, like, my friends would tell me, like, hey, like, you should come play with us, you know. But I ended up playing with the Texans. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So here I go, like, first year, I'm playing, whatever. And, I'm doing good. I'm having fun with it. And then we get to, like, towards the end of the season, practice. I'll never forget. I'm doing back pedals. I lose my balance, fall, try to stop my fall, broke my arm.
No.
Broke my arm doing back pedals, you know, and it's funny because I was playing football and baseball at the same time, like winter league, whatever. So, and I remember my arm, it was hurting so bad, and I was trying not to cry, but I just couldn't take it. I started crying. Everyone started laughing at me because I was crying, and I felt...
That's terrible. Your arm broken.
I felt the worst. I felt the worst, you know, and then, you know, I just, like, let it go or whatever. So I'm playing, you know, and then I have baseball practice, and like, my dad was my coach, and I'd swing the bat. I'd be like, Dad, my arm hurts. And he'd tell me, stop being a punk. Something else, you know. I'm not gonna. But and I was like, fine. So I try. Saturday comes around. Saturday morning, play a football game. All right. Mm-hmm. You know, on the line, there's a lot of, you know, action and stuff, and I mean, nothing necessarily happened in that game that made me, like, hurt. But after that, I was like, I cannot play the baseball game later today. Cannot. Mom takes me to the ER, and they're like, oh, yeah, your forearm's fractured.
So this whole time, when did practice happen whenever you...
Practice happened, like, on a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
And you went to a win
Saturday.
without going anywhere?
Going to get checked out.
You just knew your arm hurt.
Yeah, it hurt. So I had like a football. Let's say it was like this. Football was on Tuesday, all right, and then I would like kind of alternate.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to baseball on Wednesday, and I remember like swinging the bat, and I was like, this hurts, like it hurts really bad. I never thought anything of it, and like the motherly instinct. My mom was like, okay, let's put you in a sling, My dad's like, the hell with that sling. We have a game on Saturday, and I need him, So here I am on a sling, like with a sling. Next day, no sling, like throwing and swinging, and then, obviously I felt okay enough to play, you know. But then again, not really knowing the severity of my arm. So I played, and then after that, I was like, my arm's hurting so bad, I just can't. My mom's like, I've heard enough of this. We're going to the ER. We're going to get it checked out. So I go get it checked out, and they're like, yeah, your forearm's fractured. And I'm like...
And what would your parents say after that?
My dad was just like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. So after that incident, I mean, not that it like scared me from football. Mm-hmm. I just really didn't mess with it from then. Obviously I could have came back and played, but like I said, I was strictly baseball. So then around that age, I got more into like the travel ball aspect of baseball. Yeah. So we played like all around the state and everything. I would do basketball at the Boys and Girls Club every winter whenever they had it. Oh, actually, backtrack. I was a nice soccer player back in the day.
What'd you play?
I think it's like defender or something like that.
One of those positions?
Yeah, they just put me in the back, and they're like, hey, if the ball comes to you, just kick it to the other side of the field. I was like, all right, yeah, I got it. So, yeah, I mean, but that's soccer.
Yeah.
Not really a big guy sport. So,
nah.
Yeah. So, yeah, as I got older, it mainly became baseball. And my brother, too. Like, my brother, he was actually playing more than me. Mm-hmm. He'd go play all around the country. I mean, every summer for him, we were going to Louisiana for World Series, Georgia, Florida, So we're playing, or he's playing a lot. I'm playing when I can, every now and then, kind of around his schedule when he's playing.
Yeah.
So then, just lots of baseball growing up. Caleb's 9, and he plays in a Elite 32 World Series in Florida, and that was like the last travel ball that we played. He was 9, so I was getting to 7th grade, so I had to have been like 12 or something.
So were you playing middle school baseball?
Not yet.
Not yet?
So what happened is, after that time, my dad got real sick, right? Mm-hmm. So he was in and out of MD Anderson, so we didn't have lots of time and resources to invest in the travel ball. Mm-hmm. So then we just strictly stuck like, okay, we're gonna cut the travel ball, And at the time, school was starting up already. Yeah. So here I am coming to 7th grade, new school. I left Ricardo after 6th grade to go to Rivera. So I'm going to middle school, and Caleb came with me too. He's going to 5th grade. So when we get into middle school, I'm like, okay, we're gonna give football another shot. We're gonna give basketball. We're gonna
every sport.
Yeah, every sport. So I ended up playing football, and man, let me tell you something about this middle school team. I'm not gonna lie.
Who's on this team that?
Okay, so mind you, this team, I was in 7th grade. The grade above us, they only had 5 kids. We're one team, one middle school team. Not like your 7th grade team, 8th grade team. We're one middle school team.
That's how we were at Ricardo also.
Yeah?
Yeah, we had one team, 7th and 8th grade team. My 7th grade year, we only probably the same thing. We only had like 7 7th graders, And so we merged with the 8th grade team.
Well, I remember growing up, like going to Ricardo growing up, they had a
Yes.
7th grade team
Yes.
and 8th grade team.
They always did.
So I get to Rivera, and we have one middle school team, and we're playing. Like I said, we only had, at that time, I want to say the grade above me, they only had like 8 boys in the entire class. In the entire class. And out of those 8 boys, like 4 or 5 played.
That's Bryce, Justin,
Yeah.
LB, all the.
Yeah, see,
their
and
grade,
at
right?
that time, like Bryce and Justin weren't even in Rivera yet. They were in Ricardo. they're 8th graders in Ricardo. So, gosh, see if I can remember. LB played. JD Huckes,
Yeah.
he played.
Noah
Noah.
Garcia.
Oh, he was our grade. But yeah, he played as well. Bryson Bull, and then we have.
Oh, I remember.
And then we have like Steven, Noah, Colin. At that time, Kobe Hadamino was actually in school in Rivera. So
Was
played-
he at Rivera?
Yeah. Julian, Chinto, like we had, I mean, but everybody we played had 2 teams, and we're just one team, So, man, we took some bad beatings. Man. I mean, like Santa Maria gave it to us. Ben Bowl, like, and
Everybody.
La Villa. Okay, let me tell you about this La Villa game. All right, I think it's our homecoming, and Coach Rendon was our coach at the time, and he's like, I gotta play, and I want you to be the main focus of the play. He's like, I'm gonna give you the ball, and I was like, okay, thinking like I'm gonna be in the backfield, like William Perry or something. No, I'm playing right guard at the time. He's like, so here's how it's gonna work. He's like, Kobe's gonna go into center. He's gonna snap the ball, and he's gonna run around, right? But when he runs around, you're gonna turn around, and he's gonna put the ball in your stomach, and you go the other way, and you just go, right? And I was like, okay, and not really like thinking who was on the other side of the ball, the way I was going. See, because we had Noah, since he was in 7th grade, he's always been like a real tough player.
Yeah.
He always played, and at the time Ryan Longoria was playing as well, and I love Ryan. Ryan's one of those guys that he's like, man, if I died on the field, I would be okay with it. But Ryan, at that age, was scared of contact, right? So Noah's to my right, and Ryan's on my left, and I'm running to my left. So I get the ball, and I'm coming around the corner, and I don't even get upfield. I get blasted. Like, I get blasted, and I swear, like, I just remember hitting the ground, and I turned my head over, and I'm like, damn, I'm in the end zone. It's a safety. Because we ran the play like on our own 3-yard line. And the play is called a hamburger. So if you go and you ask anybody, hey, in middle school, what was hamburger? They would tell you, oh, that's when they gave the ball to Kobe. He got lit up.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, after that, we were maybe like 0-7. Last game comes around, it's pouring, and like, oh man, like the game's gonna get canceled. Like,
we're not gonna play.
So all of us are here sitting in the locker room, like just waiting. And then someone goes, hey, we're playing Three Rivers. Three Rivers is here. So here we go, looking out, because like I said, every team we played, big dudes, like, we look out the door, and someone goes, they got small guys. When I tell you, everybody in that locker room was hyped just because they had kids who were like under 5'5". Like, man, the energy in that locker room was like, I remember, like, we were all ready to go. So we go out there and we play the best game we've ever played, and we win. We win 1-7. because Three Rivers showed up like with their elementary. Yeah, so that was football, and then basketball came around. I played basketball, great experience. Baseball comes around, really excited for it. You know, lots of like rain and stuff, so we only got to play like 3-4 games that year.
Only in total?
Yeah, for junior high baseball,
Uh-huh.
because we had about like 6 or 8 on schedule, but I remember it rained like so much, and they're middle school games, so they're not gonna reschedule. They just cancel them. So we played like 4 games that year. 8th grade comes around. I didn't play football. I was like, I didn't. I'm still riding on that high that we beat, and I don't wanna. I'll cap it off right there.
You ended the career on a win.
Yeah, I played some basketball, baseball. So here we go, going into high school, and as you know, like our baseball program there has been, or was very good.
Yeah.
We had lots of talent, lots of, guys who could just play. So I get into high school, I'm not really thinking football. I'm not thinking basketball. I'm like, I got to find a way to get on this varsity team. Mm-hmm. Didn't happen, right? I mean, I played in a couple tournaments, but just like I said, the amount of talent there, and then, I wasn't going to start, so I played some JV. I did play a little bit of varsity, played a little bit of, I got some action in the playoffs as well. Mm-hmm. So, coming in as a freshman, it's like, well, yeah, I didn't get to play varsity, but, I mean, I got good reps in JV. And sometimes, like, as a freshman, it's hard to, like, process, like, okay, that's still a good thing. Because nowadays, kids are like, oh, if I'm not on varsity, then it's a failure.
There's no reason for me to be
playing. But it's like, no. Like, seeing that now, like, from a coaching aspect, like, no, it's not. Because, yeah, you can be on varsity and you can, get this and that, but you're not touching the field or you're not touching the court, you're not getting better at all, right? So that's that, right? End of freshman year. Now here we go. Sophomore year, it gets interesting.
Sophomore year was never.
It was your freshman year.
My first. I didn't play, but I still noticed all the talent that we still had on that team. There was still so much. I mean, like Gabe Castillo, Gus,
Gavin, Alex, all
of those guys.
But here's where my sophomore year gets interesting. I leave Rivera.
You left?
I left Rivera. Yes.
I don't remember you leaving.
I left and I went to Kingsville. I went to HM. All right. I really didn't know what I wanted to do.
I don't know why I don't remember this.
Because you probably didn't like when you came in, I wasn't there. So you probably weren't.
And you just popped out of nowhere, I guess.
Yeah,
I did not remember you not being there.
So I left, and not really knowing why I left, right? I mean, I don't know. I just left, but I came back.
You wanted to try something different.
Yeah, I wanted, I came back.
Same year or next year?
Yeah, same year. I came back like right before Christmas break.
That's probably why I don't really remember.
Yeah, so I came back before Christmas, and like the whole UIL thing, you transfer, you gotta like get approval, or you gotta sit out a whole year or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm kind of like in that dilemma, and then at that time, like my dad's health started to decline. He wasn't doing so good. And we started baseball, and obviously at this point in time, I know, like, I'm not going to play varsity this year, not because I can't, but because of this rule and stuff. Honestly, like, my sophomore year was probably, like, the roughest year. I remember there was times where I contemplated, like, I don't even know if I want to play baseball anymore. Like, I had so much, like, of a mental battle, mental barrier. I was like, I don't really care. I remember like just like sitting at lunch one day, like zoned out, like thinking like I'm gonna go tell Coach Morgan, Coach Frank, like I'm done. Like, I don't care that I'm playing JV. Like I'm done. Just wasn't feeling it.
And why was it? Why was your mindset like that? Was it because of that dilemma, and then with your dad's health on top of it, did all that start piling up on you, or what was it that made you?
Yeah, I would say accumulation of both. But then also like there was a small point in time where I wasn't having like fun, and maybe that had to do with the fact that I saw these guys on varsity doing well, and me kind of feeling like, man, like I should be there, and I'm not. And that's not to knock on the guys on JV that I was playing with, but I just felt like I could have been there.
You're better than what you were playing with, you thought?
I feel like I could have helped out the varsity team, So then, yeah, I mean, my dad ended up getting like very sick. He actually coded. It was towards the end of the school year, and he was on like life support pretty much. So what I'm grateful for, like Coach Frank, Coach D Rose, Coach Morgan, even the guys on that team, they were very like supportive, of me. Whatever I needed, like they were there to help me out, So I traveled with the varsity team in playoffs, saw them go 2, 3, 4 rounds deep that year.
Yeah.
It was a great experience, right? But as we know, like in the sports aspect of it, all those guys are graduating, right? We were losing lots of guys, and we had like 2, 3 guys that were gonna be able to come back next year. So those guys leave, we go in the summer. My dad ends up passing away in the summer, and I think for my age, like I took it well, because there's one thing when something's unexpected and when something's coming. Yeah. You're able to prepare, right? So we're able to prepare, and he ended up passing away, unfortunately. And so after that happened, it was kind of like life goes on. I gotta like find something to cope, keep my mind. So I hit the gym like hard. I'm like, I got big shoes to fill next year. Like, let's go. Let's
you're gonna be playing varsity. Like you gotta get going.
So I gotta get going. So here we go, junior year. I didn't play football again because
we sucked anyways. Because that was my sophomore year. Yeah.
Okay, so I was actually suspended from UIL because of the whole transfer thing.
So you were suspended that year.
I had to sit out an entire
calendar year
from when the date that I enrolled back in Rivera to a year to that date. So I think I enrolled back in Rivera like it was like December 1st or something like that. So that was 2017. Yeah. So I couldn't play a varsity sport until December 1st, 2018.
So you couldn't even start playing basketball even if you wanted to. You could only play like halfway through the season. So
there was no point in playing football, like because we only had a varsity team.
Only had a varsity, and we sucked. Went 0-10 that year. I remember vividly.
So no. We won a game. No, I could have swore we won a game that year.
No, I don't think we did.
No, we had to win one, like Benavides.
You know what? We might have won one. I think we won our homecoming game. I think that might have been. That might have been Benavides. It might have.
I was like, there's no way that they went 0-10, like, because we still had some talent on that team.
Yeah, because we still had Bryce, Justin.
Yeah.
And LB was still on that team. We had Sammy. We still had some guys. I mean, our quarterbacks were.
We had Nate because Steven. Yeah.
It went from Justin, Steven, Nate at one point, and love Nate. Shout out Nate, but Nate got hurt pretty often.
Well, he didn't get hurt like Steven. Steven tore his ACL first.
Yeah.
Like the first series.
Was it that? Yeah, it was that year.
Yeah.
He ran the wrong way. That's why he ran. He ran the wrong. I know it was against Agualusa. I remember he ran the opposite direction. You see us pulling to the left side, or
Yeah.
yeah, you see us pulling to the left, and for some reason he
there.
just runs back to the right and gets tackled on the sideline, tears his ACL, out for the rest of the year.
Yeah. So I didn't get to play football, basketball, but I had a fire under me, and I was like, we're going to do good in baseball. And you hear things like, oh, they lost these guys, like they're not gonna be that good. And I'm like, no, like I'm not buying none of that. We're gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball comes around. Caleb's a freshman, so Caleb's gonna be playing with me.
And was this your first time being able to play with Caleb, or had y'all played together growing up?
We played together growing up.
Mm-hmm.
We'd play every now and then together. But as far as like high school, like this was the first time. So, I mean, you were there. We had Boots, Justin, Bryce, Caleb, JoJo, like, and we were a good little squad.
Yeah, we had a good team.
We were pretty scrappy. We played.
Tres was there too.
Yeah. Nate was there at one point.
Nate, Eli. We didn't get into Eli in a bit, that story, but go ahead.
Yeah, so, man, I feel like I really had a great year that year. I feel like I hit well. I pitched well. I threw a no-hitter. I don't know if you remember, I threw a no-hitter that year. We played, like, it was against Bruni.
Was it whenever we went to Bruni?
No, it was a home game.
Home game?
Yes.
I don't know if I remember.
So let me tell you, I threw a no-hitter, but in the family, nobody ever remembers no-hitter. Remember what happened one time when I'm hitting. Okay, so we went up on these guys like 9-0 in the first inning. They couldn't get out, save their lives. And, man, we probably batted around. I'm hitting. I think Bryce was on first. And it was a pass ball. The catcher said, "The hell with the ball. I'm not gonna get it." Bryce is on second. Umpire calls time, gives the pitcher a new ball. Caleb is on deck, right? And you know the rules, like you're on deck, you got to go get the ball.
Yeah.
So Caleb goes and picks the ball up and throws it to the pitcher, and the umpire is like, "Wait a minute, he touched that ball. That's a live ball. That means the batter's out."
They called you out?
They called me out. I'm like,
how do I not remember this?
You gave the pitcher a new ball. He was like, "No, but that was a live ball, and he touched it, so batter's out." Man, when I tell you I never want to fight Caleb so bad. I mean, we fought hundreds of times, but right there on the field, I was like,
you're ready to throw some hands.
I was ready to throw some hands. I think if I hadn't thrown the no-hitter that game, we probably would have scrapped. But so yeah, we had that.
But that season was really good because we were probably blowing out a lot of teams that we'd go play. I think what did we finish? Probably third in the
second or third, something like
whatever
that.
it's called.
In the district,
yeah,
something
district.
like that. Second or third. Go to the playoffs, man. That first playoff.
That Freer game.
Or the game. It was in Freer.
Was it not Freer?
It was.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Freer.
Kennedy.
Yeah.
It was Kennedy. That game was it was a nail biter. It was so close, and it shouldn't have been that close. We just weren't hitting, and Boots hit that walk off.
But I remember prior to that, I remember I went up to bat, and at first I did not feel confident at all going up to bat because this was the final inning. This was that inning where Boots had been in the walk off. I went up there. I was like, you know what, man, I don't know if I can do this. I'm in the box, man. They're hoping on me to do something. I get hit by pitch. I remember turning around. I was going to toss my bat towards Kennedy. But I was like, oh, no, wrong side. And then I go back to ours. Tears in my eyes. I'm trying not to cry. I'm tears in my eye. Toss the bat. All I see is Justin there. Let's go. And I'm running down to first, trying not to cry. I just got hit, and that shit hurt. I'm just trying my hardest not to cry that whole time. And then I remember getting out at second, and then later Boots ends up hitting that fucking walk off.
Dude, I can see it because Bryce was on deck, and I'm and I was in the hole, so I'm right there by the end of the dugout, just watching, and the tension because the way that game was, and I remember just seeing Boots just turn on the ball, hit it down the line, it gets through, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're gone. So the way it works, all right, because nobody knew this, but the way it works, when someone hits a walk-off, you go and you get the person that hit the ball.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going straight for Boots. Like, I'm running like I'm going to spear him, right? And me and Justin are there celebrating with Boots. And I'm like, where the hell is everybody? And all y'all fools are over there with a homer or something, and then Justin took us to the ground, and then here goes everyone else just
start jumping right on top,
and we're on the bottom of this dog pile. I'm like, oh my gosh. I actually have a video.
I can vividly remember the video. The main thing I remember is just seeing LB run towards that side and then start turning around.
I have the video, but the funniest thing about that video, besides like the dog pile, someone in the background's like, "Stay bound, stay bound." Like, no, chill. Let's So that was a great game. Then we end up going round 2, San Antonio. Man, that was an experience. We
the trip up there was awesome.
Yeah.
I remember we took my speaker
and we taped it to the top of the bus.
Taped it to the top of the bus.
Yeah, and we're there, and we were rap battling. And
Ivan was out there. I think that was probably the funnest because our managers, it was LB, it was Julian, and Ivan were there. Oh, then we took Eli with us.
Whoa, the Eli story. So we back to round 1. I remember Booth was telling Coach Frank, he's like, "We're not taking Joe. We're not taking. We're gonna take Julian." He was like, "We're gonna take Julian," and then somebody didn't show up to school that day, and Frank was like, "We need a base runner," and it was supposed to be David.
Yes, it was.
But I think he wasn't there, and he was like, "Eli, you're coming with us." Mind you, Eli played hadn't played since February. Dude failed. Didn't get to. And then
he only played in the tournament during the spring break.
And then he's passing by playoffs, and he just picks it up and goes, "Man, what?" And so we end up, back to the second round.
Oh my!
We go, and that stadium that we played in was nice. We had
awesome
we had the locker rooms. You remember the boxing?
The boxing free the games.
We had Ivan and Ryan boxing before the game. And man, that game we got
those 2 back-to-back games.
Yeah, we got beat up pretty bad the first one, and that second game, actually, we were playing very well, and then we had that rain delay. Or that lightning delay, whatever it was, and it was an hour long, whatever. Mm-hmm. Come back out, trash.
Well, during the whole delay, we were just there. Ivan was running a dance battle.
Yeah, Ivan was dancing and stuff like that. But yeah, so man, that was a great year. Mm-hmm. We ended up losing that game. So, senior year comes around. We ended up losing Coach Frank and Coach Morgan.
Yeah.
Both of them left. Coach Borden comes around. He's going to be the baseball coach. All right, cool. Senior year, I'm like, I'm going to play football, right? Had to play since like 7th grade, but I'm like, yeah, we're going to give it a shot. I remember like the first 2 days or 2 days, like I'm driving all around Kingsville, all around Ricardo, like picking up people who didn't have rides yet. I had to leave my house. Like, I think practice started at like 9.
Yeah, I remember one time you had picked up like me and Joe, and we were going.
Joe, Seabass, you, Joe, and Seabass, and we go to 2 days, and I ended up not playing football after all. The one thing that pissed me off was that there was a couple of guys who were starters the year before or played a lot, and we're going through lineman drills, and we're being put through the ringer, and there's guys who not finishing the drills, they're over there throwing up in the field, different. And I'm like, I'm in there, and I'm getting through it. And, when we come to run offense, or, they got me on scout with a bag. And I'm like, bro, just worked my butt off over here, This dude didn't do half of the workout. He's over there throwing chunks, and you want to put him. Okay, and it was just continuous, and I didn't really see, the point of, well, I'm not enjoying it. I'm just holding the bag. I don't feel like I'm contributing, so I said, the hell with that.
And you hadn't even played in forever, so it's like. Man, you just went out there to try.
just to go. So we had that. Baseball comes around, and that was tough.
That was a fun year. It was a tough year.
It was tough. Like, we didn't even have a field, right? We're practicing on the football field because they're doing the whole renovation of the baseball. Was that the year when we had the world's biggest outfield?
Yeah, that was the year we did have the world's biggest outfield.
Coach Jefferson, we're in one of his classes, and he's like, this guy's playing outfield? Yeah. And this guy? Yeah. And this guy? He's playing outfield too. And he's like, damn. He's like, ESPN should do a 30 for 30 on the world's biggest outfield.
Who was it? I know it was me. I was out there.
At Joe?
One point, Joe was out there. And oh my God.
Somebody else, but
terrible.
The thing about that year is, it was a lot of change. Like Coach Borden coming on, and I felt like at that point in time, I was already on my way out, and.
Well, because at the same time, like, that's your junior year, that senior class, they all left.
Yeah.
Your class, there weren't even many to begin with.
Yeah, it was just.
And then my class, it was me, AJ, JoJo, Joe, David, and that was mainly it. And then we go to your brother's class, where them and the freshman group were who basically made up the whole team.
Yeah.
And so we were so young that year, and we didn't have much to do with, especially like you said, with Lopez leaving, Morgan leaving. Then we only had Coach Borden coming in, and so it was just a huge change.
And see, at that point in time, I felt like, obviously his coaching style compared to how Frank's was is totally different, right? So at that time, I would say I was kind of resistant to the change, because I felt like he was trying to change everything. And my thing was like, well, like, if this has worked in the past, like, why are we doing this? But now understanding, like, we have a different group of kids now.
Yeah.
And at that time, weren't as talented as those kids were when they got to be upperclassmen. But, you know, and I felt like he was trying to change things about me, change the way I swing, change the way I do this and that. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm on my way out. Just let me be.
Let me do my thing.
You know, I'm all for being a leader and supporting these guys and everything, but just let me do my thing.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't like that. And then I kind of had a mental battle there with that. I wasn't having fun. Like I was, but I wasn't. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, so here.
You enjoyed doing it, but there were days where you're just like, nah,
Oh yeah, there was lots of days where I was just like,
I don't want to be here.
yeah, you know, and which sucks because like I said, I've grown up liking the sport since I was little. Man, I remember, you know, we went and we played in that tournament, and who was it?
It was a Benavides tournament, wasn't it?
No. We played in Rockport. We played Sabinal.
Oh, that tournament.
You know what I'm talking about.
That tournament, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
We played in 2 different places.
Yeah. So,
God, that tournament.
I'm thinking, you know, I get it. It's tournament play, pre-district. As a coach, now seeing like you want to throw people like who usually don't throw, so you can see if they can pitch, you know, and come district time, whatever. So we're like, it's the practice before the tournament, and I remember Coach Borden had like 6 of us lined up to throw a bullpen.
Yeah.
And Adam Longoria is over there, and Adam, I don't think he'd ever pitched in his life up to this point, and he throws 2 pitches, and they're both strikes, and Coach Borden's like, "You're starting on Thursday," and I'm like, "Wow, okay." I'm like, "Wow, okay." I know if he was like messing around
or just
right. So here we go. We played Sabinal first game, and he's like, "We're starting Adam," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So,
oh, for real?
Yeah. So, I mean, and you know, Adam's a competitor. The thing is, he doesn't have the experience, and man, he walked everybody, and we're losing like 8-0, and then Borden was like, "All right, let's take him out," and I'm like, "Okay, he's gonna put me in." He puts AJ in. Right, I'm like, dang, okay, but AJ can kind of throw, so AJ goes and AJ throws and they're just smacking him. I mean, hitting the ball left and right, and here we are. Mind you, it's the first inning still. I don't even know we recorded an out yet, and it's 19. I remember this like vividly. It's 19-0 in the first inning.
Wow, my God!
And Coach Borden calls time.
That's.
And he's like, "Coby, get me out of this." He's like, "Get us out of this." And I'm like, wow. So we ended up losing like 21-0, 22-0. Yeah. And like that was the first game. And I'm like, bro, there's no way I'm making it through this year if we're playing like this. You know, we ended up playing like London, we played Port A or Ben Bowl, something like that.
Port A. It was Port A.
So, and we were losing, but one thing I did notice is like we started to get better, like very little, very little. We finished the tournament, we come back.
I remember when they had me pitch too.
Wait, time out. I will always, whenever I talk about this, I will always tell this story. JD Trevino.
Yes.
JD, you know, he always wanted to pitch. And he always told us the most serious, like, demeanor. He's like, "Guys, like, I got it figured out. Like, I'm going to go up there, and they're going to expect me to throw a fastball, but I'm going to throw a slow ball." He's like, "I'm going to throw a slow ball." This dude hyped himself up to pitch, And then I remember
Bad. He hyped him up
Yeah.
so bad, bro.
And then we go, and Coach Bourne's like, "All right, JD, come on." So JD goes.
I remember I'm sitting out there in the outfield with I don't know who else.
You're in left field. I remember. and JD throws 2 warm-up pitches. He's like, "Coach, I can't do this." He's like, "I can't do this, Coach." And then Bourne's like, "Mark, come on."
I look up, dude. I remember before the game, he was like, "Hey, would you pitch?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, if you need me." But I didn't think you would. JD was over there already warming up in the bullpen.
JD was ready to.
He was ready to go, and then I'm there taking a knee with whoever else. I think it was like Nate or somebody.
Yeah.
And then they start calling me. I'm like, "Me? You want me to go out there?" And then right after that, holy crap.
I mean, we got through that tournament, and then how did this happen? We go for like it's spring break, right?
Yeah, we went for
It's
spring break.
We played one district game. We played Freer, and we lost. Of course, shocker, right? But
Ooh.
but it was like 10-3. I'm like, hey, this is the most runs we've scored in a game so far. Like, there's progress here.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go.
Was that the game where I don't know if you remember, because I know Caleb brought it up to me. I don't remember what year it was. I think it was that year where I started getting into it with some Benavides players in the outfield.
Okay, I was about to get into that. I was just about to get into that. So, Benavides was our next district game, right? And I'll tell you how I was not happy about this because we played Benavides on a Friday and then had to turn around and play Fremont the next day, like during the day.
Yeah.
You know, and that's because like that Benavides game, it was like a late game. So then we had to drive all the way back to Rivera that night, and we were gonna have to play Fremont in Bishop the next day because that was our home field at the time. So here we are on the bus to Benavides. I'm on my phone, on my Twitter or whatever, and I see breaking news: UILs to suspend all sports for the next 2 weeks. Right? We had just left Kingsville. I'm thinking like, dang, like, are we gonna play? Like, are we gonna turn around and go home? Like, I was getting excited for a second because I didn't know, like. So I talked to Coach Borden, and he's like, we're gonna play this game, and this will probably be our last game for a little while. All right? I'm like, okay. In my head, I'm like, this is gonna be my last high school game. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no way they're gonna cancel the season for 2 weeks and then just pick up like nothing.
Like nothing happened.
I'm like, this is gonna be my last game. So I had already kind of prepared, like in my head, and so here we go to Benavides, and I'm like, we gotta get this one. Like, I know we can do it, and we thought Caleb and I were like, okay, he's gonna throw Caleb because he just threw me in Freer like 3 days before.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we're gonna go with Caleb, whatever. So we're there on the bus. We're there on the bus as a JV game, and before like they were warming up, and Borden's there, and Caleb goes, "So you're gonna throw me, Coach?" And he goes, "Nah, I'm gonna throw Tommy."
Oh yes, he did. I remember that.
He goes, "I'm gonna throw Tommy," and Caleb's like, "What?" And Caleb came to the back of the bus with me, and he's like, "You know, he just told me." I was like, "What?" He's like, "He's gonna throw Tommy." I was like, "What? He ain't throwing Tommy." He's like, "No, he told me he's gonna throw Tommy." And I was like, "Dang, okay." Tommy's a freshman at this time. Mm-hmm. You know, I had never seen Tommy play nothing. So, man, I give credit to Tommy because Tommy went out there and he threw a hell of a game. You know, and that game was back and forth the whole time. And then we got to I think it was like the last inning, the 7th inning. Tommy runs out of pitches, and he puts I remember he had me and Caleb both throwing on the side, and he's like, I'm gonna go with Caleb. So he puts Caleb in, and like the situation was tough. I think there was like guys on second and third with one out, you know. And if that run comes in, if those runs come in, like the game's over.
Yeah.
And Caleb strikes out like the two guys. I'm like, okay, we're going to extras, cool. We had the bottom of the lineup coming up. I'm like, no, we're not gonna score any runs. We didn't, you know.
That's me. I'm at the bottom of the lineup. I'm coming up. Yeah, we're.
No, I think there was somebody worse, like down there. But so here we go back on the field, and Caleb like walks three guys. The bases loaded, no outs. I'm like, he's really gonna walk in like the winning run, you know. Strikes out the first two guys. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Mind you, like, while this is happening, I hear you in right field. I hear people in right field like talking, like they were heckling you pretty bad.
Oh, bad.
Bad, you know, and
I'm not just letting it slide.
no,
I'm talking bad too.
You're talking bad, you know, and I remember someone out there said there was like call you fat and all kinds of things, and then they're like, I bet you they hit the ball, you won't catch it, and like, but if they hit a Whataburger out here, you will catch it, right? and I'm at first base, and I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. Like, that's not cool.
Nah, bro.
And so Caleb strikes out these two guys. This next guy comes up to hit, and Caleb has him down 0-2. I'm like, here we go. One more strike. We got top of the lineup coming up. We're going to put some runs up. We're going to win this damn game. This is going to be it. All right. 0-2. And Caleb serves up a ball on a pretty platter to this guy, and he hits a shot right over my head. And I turn around, and I see Mark. And ball game. They went on a walk-off. And those guys were like, I told you. They were still talking, and they were still talking to you. And I was like, bro.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
I'm like, I feel bad because Mark's over there trying to defend himself. But I'm like, I just played my last game, and I lost to the worst team in the worst way because my brother, like, oh, yeah, it was... Man, we should have won that game.
We should have won that game. Yeah. Those guys they're grown ass adults. Let me tell y'all, grown ass adults over there in Benavides talking shit to me the whole time, like heckling the hell out of me. And I was trying to fire back as much as I could, and then that happened. It was like, ah, shit.
And here's a reoccurring thing. When Coach Borden found out about it, he got mad at me. He got mad at me.
He got mad at you?
Yeah. He's like, you should have told me about it. So I could have told the umpires. And I'm thinking, like, what's me telling you going to do about it? Like, they're still going to talk, you know. I remember there was a couple of moments where, like, he got mad at me and Caleb for stuff that we had, like,
no control of.
Like, I remember the fair game. I'm pitching. There's a guy on second. And I think Robert Mayo was playing short. And Caleb was playing first or something like that. I don't know. Well, I went to go do a pickoff move, and nobody was there, right? Nobody went to cover. And Coach Borden got mad at Caleb because he's like, you should have told so-and-so they got to go over there. And Caleb's like, how, like, why do I got to tell him, like, you know, but I mean, it is what it is. And then, you know, like I said, that was it for me as far as playing. I graduated. I had like the most watered down graduation you could ever.
Yeah, because you're in the middle of COVID.
Yeah, we're talking like we ended up having like a little like parade thing, and then
outdoors in front of the high school.
Right there in front of the high school, and built the stage. We walked, whatever. Cool.
Did y'all end up having a prom? No. Oh, I know y'all didn't have like a natural prom through the school, but did y'all end up like running one yourself, the students? I thought they did.
I know like either SG or Bishop did.
Yeah, I think it was SG.
Yeah.
I know SG ended up doing that.
No, we didn't do anything like that. We man, like our class was so like we tried to be together, but too many like egos and stuff. I remember I wanted to do this class prank. I wanted to spray the football field, and just put class of 2020 on it. And someone's like, "You can't do that. That's vandalism." I'm like, "How is it vandalism?" They're like, "Because you're spray painting the property." I'm like, if they don't like it, they can just cut the grass and it's gone.
Yeah,
Like-
that easy.
Like that's not vandalism.
There's way worse things you could do.
Yeah, way worse things I could have.
Who was it? Didn't somebody drive on Bishop's Field at one point? I think.
Really?
I don't know. I feel like it was somewhere where, like, as a prank, they drove on the field and messed up a field.
Oh.
I don't know what school it was.
Well-
For some reason, I have a strong feeling it was. Why you look like that? I have a strong feeling
That
it
did
was
happen
Bishop.
in Rivera one time.
It did happen one time?
Yeah. I think I may or may not know who did it.
Well, we'll leave it there.
Yeah,
We'll leave it.
you know, so I graduated high school, I'm going into college, right? Obviously, I actually start college at the island in Corpus, and I wanted to do like sports business, right? Not really knowing like the specifics. I ended up just doing like strictly business, right? So I'm there, and when I tell you like the culture shock of being in a classroom in Rivera, and a classroom at A&M Corpus, my first class, well, actually my first class, my first ever class, my class was at like 3
In the afternoon?
in the afternoon, and I thought it was at 2. So I walked into a class, and like it was already going on, and I just sat there, and I'm like, oh shit, like I'm late, like I feel weird. Like I walked in and everything, and I'm like, let me check my schedule real quick. I'm in the wrong class.
Did you just stay there?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not walking back out. I'm gonna sit right here, and I'm like, I'm in the right place, but I'm in the wrong class. My class is the class after this one.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there, and I sat there, and whatever. But the culture shock that I was talking about is like the next class I had the next day. I walk into the classroom, and it's not a classroom. It's an auditorium with over 200 people in it. And I'm like, whoa, like this is not like, this is
No,
not,
we're so used to being in a small little classroom
Yeah.
with like 15 kids.
I didn't even know where to sit. And it wasn't like all the seats were filled. There was nowhere to sit. I'm like, there's so many seats. I don't know where like I need to sit like for class, you know? So I ended up like doing my first semester there. I did a whole year, but after my first semester, I was with some friends, and I was like, we're talking, and we're just like reminiscing on old stuff. And one of the guys like I played with growing up, and he's like, you know something? He's like, your dad was the best coach I ever had, like growing up. Like he was hard on me, and this and that. I mean, he's like one of the best coaches I ever had, you know? And I'm sitting here, and I'm just like, do I really want to do what I want to do? Or, like, can I take this somewhere else where I can be more, I can enjoy it more? So after that, like during that break, I'm like, I'm going to change my major. I'm going to go kinesiology. I'm going to go be a coach. Right.
So coaching wasn't always on your mind.
It was a little bit, you know, but it wasn't. I wasn't like fully like
Bought
set
into it.
on it. Yeah, there's really like 3 things that made me want to coach. The first thing was, of course, like the love for for baseball, just a love for sports in general. But,
Yeah.
you know, mainly baseball. You know, I'm like, I don't feel like, or not that I don't feel, but it's like I would enjoy work a lot more if it was surrounded around sports. You know, because that's what that's a hobby.
Yeah.
You know, so that was the main one of the main things. The second thing was like growing up, you know, like my dad was always on my ass, you know, over the littlest things, but he always told me, he was like, you have what it takes to be a great leader, but you just haven't put it together, but you have it, you know. And it took me a while to realize that, and I finally got it. But I'm like, yeah, like I can see it now. Like, yeah, I am a great leader, you know. And the third thing was I've seen some coaches, you know, who put a lot of our friends down,
Yeah.
and they just didn't like them for whatever reason. If you weren't, you know, if you didn't do this, if you didn't do this sport, if you didn't do this or whatever, like you're just irrelevant.
I remember.
Irrelevant to me.
I remember our senior or your senior year, my junior year. There were some like Noah at one point. I remember he stopped falling. He fell out of love with football. I think Steven at one point did. Nate did. So many people started like falling out of love with their sports because I mean, I'm not gonna call out the coach, but I mean, there was a coach there that made a lot of those people feel like shit.
Yeah.
And at one point, my senior year, I almost quit because of that coach.
Yeah.
And it got to that point where I was like, bro, like, fuck this. Like, you're here treating us like shit, talking to us like shit. And yeah, we love this sport so much. We want to do this sport all the time. And I love football so much. Everybody knows how much I love football. That's all I play. That's all I've ever wanted to play. But like to get me to the point where like I say screw this and want to quit, like bro, like you know there's some things wrong. There's some people they can coach, but they're not meant to coach.
Right.
And I mean in his case, he was probably one of those. He bounced around so many places where it made some people feel like that. It made my brother at one point feel like that.
Yeah. And see, like seeing that, you know, it's like I want to be a coach to make sure that I'm not like that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to make less people like that in the coaching world and be more of who I want to be. So those are like the three things in myself that I saw, like this is why I want to coach. So I switched my major, and I wasn't able to get into any coaching, like any KECHS classes in Corpus, because like they were so full, they fill up so quick. But you had to have like a minor or whatever. So I did like classes towards that minor, and then I was like, all right, next fall, I'm going back to Kingsville, and I'm gonna I was motivated to like get the classes I need to get so I can get that done and find a coaching job like as soon as possible. And so I had enough like fire in me that I did. I went through college pretty quick. Like I started here in Kingsville in 2021, and I was done by 2023.
Yeah.
You know, I went in, I did what I had to do because I was passionate about it, and that made everything like easier for me. You know, it wasn't like, oh, I gotta take pre-calculus, like, or I gotta take this. I was motivated to get through it. I'm like, if I want to do this, I gotta get through this. Did that. I got through it. You know, I've met some great friends like along the way, and you know now like we're graduated and we're all like coaching like somewhere, so it's pretty
And
cool.
you're still pretty close with those guys.
Yeah.
That's
So
badass.
like we graduate together or like within the same year or so. You know, now I have friends that I went to school with, coach here in South Texas, Three Rivers, Robstown, Banquetti, Odom, Orange Grove, like Kingsville, you name it, Sweeney, Navarro, you know, just everywhere. So I've kind of built my own little network within the people that I went to school here, and dude, I mean, I love what I do. I love it. Just say it's kind of weird, you know, me in Rivera. Like,
and now as a coach instead of a student.
Yeah, and a teacher.
Yeah.
And a teacher, and that's, you know, there's times where my first week or so, I was kind of like, I just go into the teacher's lounge because you know we were never.
I'm gonna come in here and see what's it about.
Yeah, or even like right now, we've been working on a lot of stuff at the field house, and I'm walking around the field house like I can just freely walk in here, and
nobody will question you.
no one's gonna.
No one's gonna tell you to leave. You can't be in here.
Exactly. You know, I have a key to get into whatever building I want to get into.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of like.
You can go in the gym and shoot some hoops if you want for a little bit.
No, yeah, definitely I could. You know, or what I would do is sometimes when we have our summer workouts, I'll go and just lift like in the gym by myself before the kids get there, or whatever. Just I have like access to all these things. You know, I can get on the fields, can get into the storage units and stuff like that.
Stuff you would never have access to before.
Well, so one time, Caleb and I, we went to the baseball field. The field, like, what it was then is not what it is now, right? Because back then we just had that one little press box, and you know, now we have this whole like complex. One time we went to the field like to get some work in or whatever, and I don't know if the press box was left unlocked or
Was this the old field?
the old field.
Old field?
Yeah. Caleb found a way to get in the press box. I want to say it was unlocked. Okay, for legal purposes. Like,
for legal purposes, it was an unlocked press box.
I believe it was unlocked, right? He went and hooked his phone up to the aux and everything, and he was just playing like the most outrageous music that you would. I mean, he's playing like Cupcake and all this.
I remember there was one time, me, you, Eli, Joe, and I think like Nate, Caleb was there. We all went to the field and we're just hitting balls out there.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
For legal purposes, it was open.
No, because they would leave fields open like that.
Yeah.
You know, and here's one like pet peeve.
I think it was before they also completely gated the area.
Yeah. Here's one like pet peeve. I mean, it's a pet peeve of mine, but I understand why they do it. Everything is locked. Not like how it used to be. I know you remember going like leaving class and we can have athletics and we can just go and walk in through the gym door, you know, go get changed out. You can't even do that now.
It's locked.
It's locked. You know, like someone has to go and unlock the door every single time for kids to get in. Being in class, we used to be in class, remember in Miss Contu's class, and she'd have the door wide open. You can't even do that no more.
It has to be closed
Has
and
to
locked?
be closed and locked. Yep.
What the heck?
And I understand why they, like, these rules are obviously in place because, you know, like
for safety.
You know, you hear about like the school shootings and everything.
Yeah.
So it's done for safety. But I'm like, dang, like, do we really have to have everything locked like this, you know?
The building's already all fenced in.
It's fenced, yeah.
The outside doors to get into the building are already locked. Now you gotta lock the classroom doors.
Yeah.
You gotta do so much.
I get it. I totally get it. But I'm like, really? And then, like, they get on us if our doors are unlocked, you know, and I understand. But, like, one time, I think I accidentally forgot to, like, lock my door. The principal comes in, and I'm like, shit. And then what I like, because of the principal, she's awesome. She's like, she'll send like a message to the group, like the teacher group text. Please make sure all doors are locked. She won't say like, Medlock, lock your damn door. Like, she's just like, please make sure all doors are locked and whatever, you know. So that's good. She's a great principal.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Rivera is a lot of the teachers that were there when we were students are gone.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of new people, but they're very supportive. We're all very supportive of one another.
Mm-hmm.
So and it really makes like my job easier. We make each other's jobs easier, and I love that because I know there's some places where you're kind of like on your own, and you got to figure stuff out on yourself, and that can be pretty hard. But dude, I love that I'm in Rivera, and hopefully we can turn some things around.
Yeah, because that was one of the things I wanted to ask you about, because I mean, like you said, a lot of the people that were there whenever we were, like, within a year or two after both of us graduated, I mean, they like almost completely cleaned house. The coaches left on their own because Borden left,
Yeah.
and Rendon ended up leaving, the Suarez's ended up leaving, and then, well, at least I don't know if younger Suarez is there. I know Mike, no, he's not there. So yeah, they ended up leaving. Everybody ended up leaving, and teachers, Miss Tina, she's here.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else ended up leaving. God rest her soul, Miss Cantu. She ended up getting fired for a little bit.
Left?
Who?
Miss Harris.
Miss Harris, she just left.
Yep.
Yeah, 'cause I knew she was there for a while. She taught me. I was in a lot of her classes, so like now it's like almost completely new faces now.
Yeah.
How is it seeing all that, like the change from whenever you graduated to now?
I think it kind of helps me in a way because, like I've told you about how, the whole like transition from being a student to a teacher, it kind of felt weird, like seeing people who were your teacher and now you're coworkers with.
Yeah. Like
it's kind of like a weird thing, and so you're like, oh, I don't feel right like saying this around because you're my teacher,
Yeah.
But like now, like bringing these new people in, it kind of like it's refreshing in a way to where it's like, okay,
it frees you up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's times Miss Hubert, I love Miss Hubert, and she's kind of made the transition. I've gotten to see more of her, like her actual personality, and I think it's awesome because she's awesome.
But at first it was awkward.
Yeah, at first it was like, Miss Hubert.
You're my math teacher.
Yeah, you're my algebra teacher. Now we're coworkers, but yeah, like these new people coming in, it's refreshing, but also like I'm kind of like calm about it too, because I'm like, okay, no matter like what this person is or what this person like does, like I've been here before. I know the ins and outs of this place, and it's just comforting that I'm somewhere where I'm familiar.
Yeah.
And because like we have a bunch of new coaches coming in this year.
Oh yeah, y'all have a ton.
We have, I can't even tell you.
A new AD.
Yeah, we have a new AD. New AD, new volleyball coach, new basketball coach. We have a new, 2 new track coaches. We have about 6 or 7 new people. Only returning 3 people from last year.
Coaches.
Including me, 3 people. Yeah, so it's pretty much like a brand new staff.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to like, this is my place. Like, I went to school here, like, not.
This is my old stomping grounds.
like, because it can be difficult when there's change like that. Especially when you have a new like athletic director, because things are being run differently than how they were last year. So it's a bit of an adjustment, and sometimes the adjustment is not easy, or it takes a little longer.
Yeah.
But the adjustment, it's a different pace for everybody. I can definitely say that. Like, some people adjust better, adapt better than others do, you know. And I feel like just kind of knowing, like, this is my, like, I've been to school here, and I've, you know, seen this and that happen. Like, I can transition to this pretty well because, and honestly, like, it's been going pretty well. We've been working a lot lately, like, a lot.
Trying to get things going, trying to hit
yeah,
the ground running.
and not even that, but just to kind of like present our facilities better. Like, we've been working on the grass at the football field. Like, we laid sand down, you know, to kind of get a better growth. Laid sand down, spread it out. And the grass is growing, looks very good right now.
Yet when it fits the practice field.
Actually, they've been working on that too.
You see,
They've been
back then when we were playing, Coach Suarez would send us over there at the end with all the spinas, and what it make us do bear crawls over there.
Yeah. So, and now, like, we have a zero turn that's specifically for athletic fields.
Ooh.
Just for the football field, for the practice field, for the baseball and softball field. Because, you know, when you mix the mowers that they used to cut, like, the grass in front of the schools, with that stuff, it doesn't really
messes it up.
Yeah. So we've been, like, just prepping stuff. Actually, today we have our little Seahawk camp, our football camp. So we'll have field ready. We're gonna paint the lines. Oh, that's gonna be a pain. We gotta paint the lines.
After this, are you gonna head over there?
In a couple hours. Yeah.
In a couple hours, head over there, start working.
And start working. You know, get exciting. Try to really get the community involved. You know, with a lot of the athletic stuff, which I feel like has been lacking a little bit. You know, trying to get community kids involved, wanting to be around. You know, because at the end of the day, like, our mindset is we want to, it's all for the kids, but we want to improve things for the kids, you know. So I'm really excited for how this New Year's going to go.
Yeah, because I've talked to the AD, and then I've talked to, of course, Mr. Arredondo at the same time. And the thing that I brought up to them is, like, what I remember the most is how connected our community was. Because I remember my freshman year, yeah, of course, it helps that we were winning. But freshman year, those stadiums would be packed. Like, the bleachers would be full. All along the fences from the field house all the way to the road over there would be full. There would be people outside the gates parked on the visitor side just watching us play and everything. And that's like, after a while, that started dying and dying and dying. But, like, that's what we want to get back to. I mean, that's what you'd love to see the community get back to, because you want to see those packed out stadiums where everybody shows up for a Friday night game. Everybody shows up for a baseball game, baseball tournament, whatever it is. You want to see those stadiums full, because, I mean, it's nice to have that community that supports you and that supports the team no matter what.
Yeah. So that's why, you know, and we're trying to, not only the aspect of working with the kids to bring back the winning culture, but, like I said, also, you know, like, we're taking lots of pride in our, you know, like, in our facilities, trying to make everything look good, you know, because when people see, like, oh, like, look at what they're doing over here, you know, they're gonna want to show up and you know, see what everything's about, you know. So we're trying to upgrade our facilities as much as we can. You know, and the thing is, like, it's not maintenance people putting in the work. Like, it's us.
Yeah.
Like, we're here, you know, out there in the sun, beating on us, you know, trying to make things look nice.
Trying to
know,
improve things.
For our kids and, you know, for the community. So.
And so the other thing about coaching, like, how much of a factor would you say your dad really had on you throughout your whole journey of your life, like with the sports, with the coaching, everything? How much of a factor did he and your mom or everybody play in your life?
Definitely a lot, because like I said, or like my dad was he coached me growing up, and a lot of the stigmas you see now with kids growing up with their parents coaching, they call it like daddy ball, and,
Yeah.
because a lot of kids, try to, a lot of parents try to put their kids, in the best position that they can to make their kid look good in front of, my dad didn't care about any of that shit. Like, he, like, if he treated the kids bad, like, he treated me worse.
Yeah.
Like, to show, like,
He wasn't favoring you.
Yeah, there was no favorites at all, and really, like, he, like, had high expectations, like, and the same thing for Caleb. Like, he had higher expectations for us than what he did for the other kids. Obviously, because we're his kids.
Yeah.
But, like, he wasn't going to, like, make things any easier for us because we're his kids. And I think, like, that kind of even showed us, like, we have to work hard, like, for anything that we want to get, And then just like I said, seeing him have an effect on, like, friends that I had growing up, like, because I told you about that one conversation, but I've had many people come and tell me, like, oh, like your dad was, like, he was my favorite coach, and this and that, and, obviously, one thing about coaching is like the leadership, like I told you about how he told me about being a leader, and, like, oh, I have that, like, why not use what's been given to me? So I try to use that, and try to use it out there, And same thing, like with my mom, she was always, like, hard on us too. So we, try to take every lesson that we learned from there and then just use it in my everyday life. So.
And how much or how far do you see your coaching career going? Eventually, do you see yourself eventually moving up levels, or would you like to stay in the high school level, maybe some different places, or maybe stay as a Rivera Seahawk the whole time?
I definitely see me staying in the high school level, because I feel like coaching at this level, it builds a lot of character. You can instill a lot of good habits in kids that will stay with them for a lifetime. Like I said, we've both had coaches in our lives that have impacted us in certain ways that make us, want to be better every day, and, I really want to be that person, so I think, like, staying at the high school level is going to keep me in the best place to be that person. As far as where I see myself, like, well, let me answer this question. I see myself staying in coaching for a very long time.
Yeah.
I know people who have done it for 5-10 years and they get out of it and they do something else. I see this being, like, something that I'm in, teaching and coaching for many, many years to come. Okay, and as far as where I want to be, like, there's no telling. Like,
Never know.
You never know. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I'm gonna be a Rivera Seahawk for life and all this, because things can always change.
Yeah.
You never know. Would I love to stay in Rivera? Absolutely. If my calling is to be there, from now to the next 20 years, then so be it. But if I'm supposed to be somewhere else in a place up north where I wanted to coach at when I was little, like, then I'll go do that. But yeah, as far as like where I'm gonna be, I can't tell you, like,
Exactly where.
Yeah,
Because you don't know.
you never know.
Never know what will happen a year from now, 2 years from
Never.
now, 10
Yeah.
years from now.
Exactly.
And the other thing I wanted to say is, I like how you brought up the part of staying in high school, impacting the kids, because growing up, like you said, yeah, I've had so many coaches impact me at the young age. I mean, you mentioned how when we were younger, everybody played for the Ricardo Yellow Jackets. I played for Ricardo Yellow Jackets, and I mean, the coach for me, Coach Art. Still to this day, I still call him Coach Art. I see him no matter where. That's my Coach Art because he instilled so much discipline in me, and he showed he can be a hard ass to you, but that he loved you. He loved you as one of his own kids, and I saw him as a father figure too at some times because there were times where I had to quit my 6th grade year because I failed my history class. My dad took me to Coach Art's house whenever they got the progress report. Took me to Coach Art's house to turn in all my stuff. This was a few weeks before the whole team, this was during the playoffs. So I didn't get to play the playoffs. They lost that weekend. A few weeks later, they were going to go play at the Dallas Stadium. And I had to quit.
And you missed out on that?
I missed out on that.
Wow.
But like Coach Art, he understood because I was failing. He said, yeah, rightfully so. You shouldn't be playing if you're failing. Did the same thing with my brother. If he failed, my parents made him quit too. And Coach Art understood exactly that. He didn't have any talk back. He was like, yeah, if they're failing, shouldn't be playing. Yeah. So, and then high school, Coach Borden was such a great person to me. He was always someone I could just go talk to if I needed to talk to somebody. Coach Lopez was someone who took me home after practice almost all the time because my parents didn't get out till late or they couldn't pick me up. Morgan, I saw Coach Morgan and his wife as like my parents also while we were there because they treated us like so lovingly and they wanted to help us out and everything. So, yeah, at those levels, that's where you do impact the kids the most. You do instill the good habits, the good working habits in them, how to work hard, how to stay dedicated, how to keep moving, keep improving every day. And that's where they really grow because not every kid is going to end up going to college to play sports. They're not. So, I mean, the place where you can impact them the most and instill that work ethic in them is during those times in high school.
And it's not even just athletes.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I've had kids who I've had in the classroom who they may never touch a court, may never touch a field in their lives, but to, be some kind of supportive figure to them, and see that they appreciate it, like it feels good knowing that too. So.
Well, Coby, that's all I got, man. And I'm glad that you came back on to the show again, that we both ended up starting together. So I'm glad it's transitioned. It's changed a little bit, but I'm glad you're here, brother. I really appreciate you joining for this interview. Of course, I wish nothing but the best for you. I tell everybody, and I wouldn't even have to tell you this, you always got a fan in me. You always got someone who's going to support you no matter what. And the more we can do this, the better, because God damn it, I love talking to you, bro. I appreciate you joining.
I appreciate you, man. We could definitely, we could, when the next school year finishes, and we could have a debrief on that and how the next year's gonna go. Definitely.
Like a yearly interview, like I'm gonna start doing with Ivan too.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, man. Thank you.
Yep.
Off the clock, never needed no wristwatch. Toast up, cheers to life, but this ain't no pit stop. Ayy, my work don't get you to the top. Speak life into the mic like Mike at 90, pass me the rock. My words will touch thousands on the block. Without a doubt, but she's a reassurance on me, we lie. Ayy, off the clock, baby, but we tuned in, dialed in. Feel like Cat, how we always winning, man. It's up.